Hello and welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. I am the Nerd Man, and with me again, our very special guest, or repeat guest is
Super Zero.
Super Zero. Awesome. How are you doing, man?
I'm not doing too bad. Not too bad at all.
Good. So, shall we get into it? You were the one who brought this up to me, so that everyone knows I'm not obsessed with Ray Fisher. He was the one who brought this up to me and wanted to talk about it. So tell us what's happened recently.
Well, really, Ray Fisher has more allegations against Warner Brothers investigation, but
Allegations.
Really, yeah, that's what he's got. Allegations.
In quotation marks.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like accusations. Accusations sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to read out what he said recently, and we can then go through it and see what our thoughts are. All right, so look how that looks. There we go. So here we go. So Justice League star Ray Fisher shocked the world when he accused Reshoots director Joss Whedon and producer Geoff Johns and Jon Berg of abusive and unprofessional behavior on the set of the movie. Since then, he's been dropping the odd extra detail here and there, but he's choosing his words carefully until he's legally able to speak openly and freely. Warner Brothers is now conducting an investigation through an independent firm, but it doesn't sound like it's going particularly well. As Fisher argued, the studio tried to discredit him when they claimed he refused to speak to that team. In reality, it seems he's been trying to reach out to them. Now the actor is alleging that Warner Brothers is attempting to create a false narrative by only speaking to certain people and ignoring those who actually want to talk about their experiences. So here we go. So here's the Ray Fisher tweet. To date, the independent firm hired by Warner Brothers Pictures has conveniently avoided contacting key witnesses who gave damning statements to WBHR. They've also started interviews with and have since ghosted witnesses that have implicated former and current top-level executives. Hashtag Ray Fisher. Others, including an implicated individual that called me to apologize, have already been interviewed. We will not let any investigator cherry-pick interviewees that best suit Warner Brothers' false narrative and scapegoating efforts. All with stories will be heard. Accountability equals education. Or accountability above what was it again? Accountability above entertainment. That's it. So I want to pick up one thing before I let you speak on this that I want to mention just quickly. What exactly is he trying to say when he states that Warner Brothers has been painting a false narrative and cherry picking? Warner Brothers hasn't said really that much. I mean, if anything, all they've said is that that basically he hasn't come forward with any actionable statements that they really can conduct an investigation with, which means basically, which he himself admitted. He said on Twitter that in one of his things that he refused to talk to the investigator because he wanted to know where the investigator was from. So I don't really see what false narrative it's as if they've been doing a campaign against him when really they've just sent out one message. What do you think?
I mean, we can just, I feel like I don't even know much about this, and I really want to. I want to back the guy up. I want him to have something to talk about and a point. I want there to be a message behind what are you doing? You know, I feel like, as I said earlier, I feel like, I mean, I'm gonna read over this as you did. So his first tweet to date, the independent film has conveniently avoided contacting key witnesses who give damning statements to Warner Brothers. All right, so I want to point out, conveniently avoided and gave damning statements. All right, I want to point out, conveniently avoided. Now the second tweet, others, including an implicated individual that called me to apologize, have already been interviewed.
Super Zero, one thing, you see when you knock the pen on the thing, it makes this kind of, it's making a kind of noise.
Is it clicking? Is it clicking? I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's just when you listen back to the video, it's really annoying for
it's viewers. Really late. It probably would be really annoying. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all right. Don't worry. No.
Okay. Others included an implicated individual. We'll skip that. I already read that. We will not let any investigator cherry pick interviewees that best suit Warner Brothers Pictures' false narrative and scapegoating efforts. I'll point out cherry picking and I guess scapegoating. Isn't that kind of what he's doing in a way? Like he's picking like who's going to stand with him. It's great that everybody's going to support him, but he's like, I don't know. He's kind of picking who he talks to. He's doing the same thing that he says he's accusing others of doing, I guess. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, anyone would cherry pick people. If you're
you're
gonna pick people. But the whole thing that I don't understand is, isn't this supposed to be an independent investigation? So there should the person who's and if here's my confusion. If you want a third party and you want to ensure an independent investigation, why don't you hire someone?
Yeah, that would be a third party. That would be a, No.
But what I'm saying is, why doesn't Ray Fisher hire someone?
Yeah.
Why is he getting Warner Brothers to pay the bill to do this investigation when he doesn't trust them? So
yeah, you're kind of right. Like.
And therefore you could make sure no one is doing anything untoward. You choose the people. You go to a particular firm who investigate these matters. You go, you tell them what you want done, and you pay the bill. And if they find wrongdoing, what would happen is you'd be able to pay them back. Say he doesn't have the money or something like that. I don't know, but he'd be able to get compensation from what they discover and what they, because he'd be able to sue Warner Brothers or, get monetary compensation for any wrongdoing that was done to him.
Yeah, so he would be compensated for sure if he won a case. That's what happens. So I don't know what he would want. Like why he would be avoiding anything, especially when he's the one being like, pointing this out to people. I would feel you would want to just get it over with, right? Like let's get to the bottom of it. Let's get it over with. And if you have something to say, be heard, because sooner or later people are not going to want to stick around to hear what you have to say.
I think, yeah. I think is his problem with communication that he assumes people who are reading these know much more than they do. Maybe it's because, like, if you're like a Snyder cult, for want of a better word, if you're one of the devotees of Snyder and maybe you're following all his Twitch streams or something, maybe those people know more than the average person, and maybe these tweets are aimed towards them, because I don't know what he's assuming I know much more about this investigation than I really do.
I have no clue either what the hell any of this is about, and I'd really like to, because apparently it's some big news, it's something important. And I mean, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm listening.
I just think that because he's involving other people, that's kind of a bad thing and a good thing. I mean, if he's going to get somewhere, it's a good thing. But the more people you involve, the more time you're wasting. I mean, that's money. Time is money to people, and I would just want to get it over with, because sooner or later, it's just not gonna. It's gonna start to become stressful. And how is he going to get work out of this? Like, who's going to want to hire Ray Fisher after this? If it turns out good or bad, I guess they're not going to want to deal with it. But
I don't think anyone's going to want to deal with him. Honestly, yeah. I wouldn't hire him. I don't care what anyone says. Like, no one's gonna take that risk.
Yeah.
As I said, like, there's one of two things are happening. Either he's playing this really smartly, or he's playing it really stupidly, right? So on the face of things, to me, he's playing it really stupidly. Mm-hmm. So if he's playing it really stupidly, his career's over, because he's just shown himself to be a diva and, a clown and somebody who's just disruptive. If he's playing it really, really smartly, right, and he's, investigating people and, doing everything like very technically well. If I'm a director or a person of like, I'm not going to want to work with this guy. What's he going to dredge up on me? At all. I whichever way you look at it. And that's why I was saying, people like Kirsty Clements, who hashtagged I Stand With Ray Fisher, gain the world from doing that I Stand With him, because she gains all the support of the Snyder fans.
Yeah. Anybody that supports, like Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher, Zack Snyder, pretty much anybody that's on their side. And it's just like, it's crazy what's happening. And sooner that's going to turn some people on. They're going to be like, oh yeah, I want to back that up. Maybe somebody wants to star in a Snyder film later on down in the future, but that's all it seems like is able to be around right now with the information we have. I don't know anything. I don't follow him on Twitter, anywhere else, really. Not even on Facebook, but
well, I don't follow him either, but like, so when was this sent? And he's already, I think people are losing interest. Honestly, I was shocked, because you remember, like, I was actually worried about the DC fandom, because when I saw Justice Con and the numbers that Justice Con got, it was so low.
Oh,
if you look at if you look at what Ray Fisher's interview got, considering he was dropping all these juicy details about this investigation, he got very, very low numbers. People aren't interested.
Yeah, nobody cares anymore.
Zack Snyder got the highest numbers out of for his interviews, but still nothing to write home about. So I was thinking, oh my God, it was under 1 million views Zack Snyder got. He got about 100K views or something, or 200K views. Fisher got about 50K. They did an interview on another channel, which is, I don't know if you know, Beyond the Trailer, with Snyder, talking about the Snyder Cut. He got like 50K, something like that. The biggest he's seen any kind of general audience response for his trailers, for anything that he's putting out, is from the DC fandom. So I don't know that anyone really, really gives a shit about like the politics behind what's happening. They just want to see the film, I think.
Yeah, you gotta think that people are dealing with politics with other things, like very real things, our health and things we probably don't even want to deal with, but we have to.
Mm,
And then the real political politics that people probably don't want to have to deal with, but they have to. They have to hear it, especially on social media, um, just out in the world. We just want to be happy and entertained. That's why we have things like this. That's why we love comics so much, and we still love characters and action figures and films, and you know that's what it's for. And we're getting more politics. They just happen to be false narratives and politics to a form
mm,
that we're kind of having to deal with because it's on the entertainment aspect side of it.
mhm.
It sucks, but that's why someone like me who doesn't know anything about it, and when I want to know, so we can get it over with, so then we can see the film. But
I mean, I really want to know. I don't doubt that something bad happened to him, but I'm not at the same time convinced something happened to him either. I'm just completely neutral. Whatever, if he brings up some evidence, I'll take the evidence for what it is. But as far as I'm concerned, him running amok on Twitter and sending mobs after people, I'm just not interested
yeah,
in that.
yeah,
That sending mobs after Walter
I
Hamada because he tried to
yeah,
stick up for his friend. It's like I just I don't see anything that interests
yeah.
me in that way of looking at things. Do you have anything further to add to this particular
No,
um,
nope,
conversation? Yeah,
not at
I'm
all.
done with that. Like, really, I wouldn't have even done a stream if it wasn't for your telling me
Question?
about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you're telling me about it, but like, I thought maybe that I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just waiting for him to actually say something, and then
Yeah,
once I know what the actual allegation is, then I
I
can
won't.
actually
I'm not going to be. I'm
kind
not
of
going to be.
dig into it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be asking again anybody after this because, like I said, I just want it to be over with, and I don't even really care anyways. I do want to
Yeah,
see. I do want to see the film,
yeah,
but that's because I want to see the film. It has nothing to do with Ray Fisher. I could
yeah.
care less if Cyborg is in the film. He is a great character. Good, he did act great in it. He did a good job.
I don't
But
know if you. Mhm.
that's
No,
because I
go,
like.
go.
That's just because I like Justice League. So if he's there, he's there. If he's not, it doesn't matter. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't think he was a great character. I thought he was very good in his acting. He acted the part well, but I didn't.
yeah,
I just don't. I had never seen that Cyborg is worthy of being in the Justice League. I'd prefer
mm,
if you're going to put a black character, put Vixen, put Green Lantern, put Martian
yeah.
Manhunter.
John Stewart, right? Like John Stewart, the Green Lantern. Who's the other? Who's the other Black Green Lantern? He has like the full face mask. It's like a full face. I can't remember.
Oh, something Baz, the Muslim one, the Islamic one.
But he's a pretty cool character, even him. But I'm sure if we have a Green Lantern Corps, maybe we'll get a lot more of them.
Yeah.
But
Here's a thing. I think maybe I brought this up with you before. That the irony of all this is that it was Jeff Johns who put Cyborg in the
really,
Justice League.
really,
Yeah. So
I didn't know
Jeff
that.
Johns in the comics was in the New 52 was the one who elevated Cyborg into the Justice League. So funnily enough, Ray Fisher would never have been the Justice League if it wasn't
Oh
for Jeff
wow!
Johns
Oh
in the
wow!
Justice League movie.
That's kind of ironic and funny.
Yeah. Because Jeff Johns, idiot that he is, basically was so obsessed with Hal Jordan that he couldn't take that John Stewart had become more popular than Hal Jordan, and he wanted to rehabilitate Hal Jordan after the Green Lantern movie, after the failure of the animated series and whatever. So
That's
he wanted
what
to
this
get.
is all about now.
So he.
So it makes sense. It makes sense now. That's what the whole irony of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I suspect what DC told him was, look, if you're going to put Hal Jordan in, you need another black character. And he probably thought, looking at Martian Manhunter, oh, he's not really black, he's more an alien.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't use Martian Manhunter. So who else do we have? And then he just was like, oh, Cyborg will do. And I can guarantee you, as a black person, there is very, very few black people who like or relate or have any interest in Cyborg. They just don't like him. You know, I'm not speaking blanketly for all black people, obviously, but like,
yeah.
I think,
no, I understand.
I think in general, it's like you look at the majesty of the rest of the Justice League, and then you have this tin can, you know, man that, you know, and his origin doesn't make sense. Nothing about him makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, unfortunate, but yeah. So Jeff Johns did it to himself. He should have just kept. He should have just kept Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern, and he probably would have been all right, because then he could have attracted someone serious to the role. You know, probably Idris Elba or something like that would have wanted to be Green Lantern, and they could have avoided all this mess. But anyway, what should we do? Do you think we should continue on this stream, or like I think we can end this stream and then go on to
sure.
So we can cut it short.
Yeah, we can end it and go on to the next one.
All right, cool, man. All right, so thanks, guys. Love you 3000, and yeah, please like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you think about this Ray Fisher situation. All right, peace out, dudes.